This is a great all around conditioning practice. We'll start seated in a sequence. We'll end in that same seated sequence before going to Shavasana. And in between, a lot of conditioning that we'll do includes work on the hips, work on the back in Shalabhasana, nice crescent lunges, and some variations on twists. So let's begin. We'll be using a tennis ball and a washcloth, something that you can slide on the floor if you're on carpeting. Get a paper plate or something so that you can do some of these, some of the work that we're going to do with the latissimus dorsi, the side body and muscles that support the scapula. I'm sitting on a blanket, and you may want to do that too. We're going to do just a few hip openers. As you sit in Badakhan Asana with your feet together. Place your hands in a prayer pose. Press your feet and your hands very firmly in toward one another. Now lean back so you can draw your knees together. Reach them out and plant your heels on the floor to just draw forward. Just do this bowing gesture with your legs straight. Do that again. Inhale, lift up and maybe slightly back so you can fold your knees together. Plant your feet on the mat with your feet in prayer position, hands in prayer position. Get tall and draw forward. Inhale, draw back, draw your knees together and reach them out and down and a bow forward with your legs straight in Upavista Konasana. Inhale, lift yourself up, balance yourself as you take your feet together and draw them down in Badakhan Asana. Get long in the spine from the pelvis to the crown of the head and draw forward. And one more time, lean back as you draw your knees together, reach your legs out, and with the legs wide apart, bow forward. Just to get the inner thighs a little bit more active. Now let's add a little piece to that. So bend your knees and draw your knees together. See about lifting your feet up. It can be a bent leg Navasana before taking your feet down and drawing forward in Badakhanasana. Inhale, draw your knees together, balance yourself, come to the bent leg, or for some of you, straight leg Navasana if you wish, and straighten your legs and draw your heart forward and down. And inhale, lift up, bend your knees, hug in, balance yourself on your sit bones. Exhale, take your feet together, draw forward. Inhale, rock up, draw your knees together, lift your feet up, spread your legs out, reach your heels down, draw forward. Inhale, lift up, last cycle, balance yourself first in Navasana, draw your feet together in Badakhanasana, bow forward and lift up. Draw your knees together, Navasana again, and reach your legs straight out, Upavista Konasana. And inhale, lift yourself up. Just take your blanket to the side if you used one to elevate your pelvis. Come to all fours position. And in all fours position, come either to puppy dog, downward dog, or child's pose, and just pause there. And just kind of notice the difference now that you're in this very symmetric pose. Hopefully, you feel that symmetry in your pelvic area. And it tends to bring a little bit of fire into the area that you were just working. So, see as you find a pose that you can be still in for a while, just expand so fully in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep a nice solid foundation through your hands, with a nice lift of the shoulders. And slowly, let's all meet in all fours position. In all fours position, if you've got a wood or a tile floor, that's great. If not, again, you might want to use a paper or a paper plate or something like that. Those of us with a wood floor or tile floor, in all fours position. So step your hands, giant step forward, as if you're going into Chaturanga Dandasana. Now, what is that? So come toward a plank pose with your knees down. Plank pose with your knees down, and as you bend both elbows, you draw down, right? And lift up. So that's a plank on your knees. Now apply the plank on your knees while you're doing the right arm stretching forward and lift up. And do that again. So reach forward as you do the plank position and rise up. And one more time, slide your right hand forward and lift up. All right. So let's come to the opposite side. And again, you're not in a tabletop position. Your hands are giant step forward. So you're coming toward plank position on your knees. And exhale, draw down. Inhale. And you want to go really slow on these actions. Reach forward, clean your floor. Reach forward, pull back in. So a lot of core work and side body work. So take your washcloth to the side, your paper to the side, and come to all fours position and downward facing dog or puppy dog or child's pose. And once again, see in that pose if you can feel a difference. Let your head just feel like one of my teachers always said, like ripe peaches on a tree. Like you just want your head to be really heavy and hang so that you get this nice elongation in the neck muscles after all the work on the side body and the scapula area. Take 3 more breaths in whatever pose you're in. And now, as you look forward, walk your feet up to your hands. Place your hands to your low back and rise up. Come to Tadasana. Stand really tall. Engage your arms more fully by spreading your fingers. With your gaze bright, inhale, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, lower yourself down to the earth. Bend your knees and step your right leg back. Inhale, swing your arms up. Now exhale, swing your arms back from this crescent lunge and lift off your back foot. Maybe you can step it forward and balance to lift your back leg nice. Now easily step your back foot to come to the crescent lunge again. Reach your arms up. Exhale, release your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Place both hands to the low back and rise up. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Take your hands wide apart so your breath can expand the upper chest so fully. Exhale, take your hands down to the earth. Place your hands alongside your ankles to take your left leg back. Crescent lunge. Balance yourself to take your arms up. Spread your fingers. Take your hands wider apart. Lift your chest. Exhale. Bow forward as you sweep your hands back. You're bowing forward. Now, step. You can take a little hop forward before balancing on your right leg as you lift your left leg up. Now find your crescent lunge again. Reach back. Inhale, sweep your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands down. Step your back foot forward. Place both hands to your low back and rise up. Reach up to the sky and slightly back. Exhale, come to the earth. Inhale with your hands just sliding up to support you. Slide up the shin bones to rise up. Exhale, lower yourself down to place your hands by your ankles. Step yourself to a plank. And again, it can be the plank on your knees if you wish. Lower yourself to the mat. On the mat, on your belly, find your strap. Take your strap in your hand. Reach your hands forward. So as you reach your hands forward, pull the strap. So the strap should be nice and wide apart so you're not feeling like the shoulders are trying to make their way up to your ears. So with your hands nice and wide apart, pull the strap very firmly. Inhale, lift the strap and your feet up. Exhale, down. Do this 2 more times. Inhale, lift the strap and your feet up. Shalambhasana. Exhale, down. And 1 more time. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, come down. Now, have the hands like really wide apart so you've got a little bit more freedom here. This time, keep your feet down. As you inhale, lift your strap up and see about taking your strap back toward your pelvis. So you're reaching back in this new form of the pose. Exhale, take your strap down in front. All right, you've got the idea. So we're going all the way back toward the pelvis here with the arms. Inhale, lift your strap up, reach it back toward the pelvis. Inhale, lift it up and take it down forward. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up, take your strap back toward your pelvis. Reach it forward and lower it down. Move the strap to the side. Place your hands alongside your ribs with your fingers spread wide. Draw your heart forward and exhale, soften. Come either to child's pose, downward dog, puppy dog pose, your choice. Just pause. Receive the breath so fully. A nice long in breath and out breath through the nose. Bring the fullness of your own awareness to the breath. Make it full and bright. With brightness in your gaze, look forward, hop, step, walk your way forward to find yourself in Tadasana at the top of the mat. As you stand tall in Tadasana, just pause. Get this nice openness of the heart. Place your hands right at that open heart with your forearms parallel to the earth now. The hands really press nicely. In the same way that we were doing the crescent lunge to balance, let's step the right foot back to come to a high lunge pose. Open the chest, drop yourself a little bit deeper in your lunge. Now bow forward. Let the heart lead the way as you bow forward. Step in and maybe balance yourself or just stay on tiptoes on the right foot as the right leg lifts if you wish, or on tiptoes to keep a nice balanced action. And the left leg, left hip was nice and open by those actions that we did. Bend your knee and step back. Open your chest again. Lift your heart high. Now step your back foot forward. Release your hands down. Inhale, reach your arms up, way back. Exhale, lower yourself down to the mat. Let the hands just slide up your shin bones to extend the spine. Exhale and soften. Inhale with arms wide, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, take your hands right in front of your heart. And again, with your heart reaching toward your hands in this prayer position, step your left foot back. Balance yourself first. Open the chest nicely. Exhale, draw your heart down. Keep steadiness in the right leg. As you step your back foot forward, maybe lifting up right away, or maybe just pausing on tiptoes of the left foot as you lift up in Dandasana. And slowly make your way down. Nice lunge pose with the heart open again. Exhale, step the back foot forward and release your hands. Pause again in Tadasana. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Have a nice evenness to the breath. Now a full vinyasa here, applying all those actions that we did to the shoulders, to the hip area. With your eyes bright, inhale, reach your arms up and slightly back. Exhale, come to the earth. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to a plank position. Again, your plank can be on your knees if you wish. Draw your heart forward. Now lower down slowly. Inhale, draw your heart forward. Exhale, child's pose, downward facing dog, puppy dog, some pose that will just allow you to come to a nice easeful, engaging with the breath. From whatever pose you're in, make your way to the front of the mat with your hands to your low back, root down to rise up. Come to a wide stance, and in your wide stance, pull your feet in toward the midline. Place your hands right at your hips. Draw your elbows in to open the chest nicely. Turn your right toes out. Sweep your arms up. Exhale, draw down. Just take your right hand wherever it will easily fall. Reach your left arm over your head. And see, as you reach your left arm over your head, you can really root down through your left leg, so much so that when you lift your right arm up, you can get the back leg to support you. So keep a strong engagement of the back leg. Inhale, rise up out of your pose. Exhale, release. Come to the opposite side. So first parallel the feet. Take the left toes out. Sweep your arms up. Pull your legs in for strong engagement so that you support yourself fully as you draw down to the form of the pose. Utthita Trikonasana. Keep your legs really active. Now get length from the pelvis to the crown of the head and out through the fingertips. You get this nice length. So kind of trust in that length as you root the back leg down. Sweep your bottom arm up if you wish. Get this nice length in the pose. Root down through the back leg to inhale and rise up. Exhale, release your hands. Come to a seated pose. And in your seated pose, you might want to find that uh, paper towel or a washcloth or whatever you were using to slide on the floor. Come to sit in a cross-legged fashion. So as you sit cross-legged, just come to a nice sukhasana, it's called, with the middle of the shin bones pressing each other, with the outer toe side of the foot really working into the floor. So it's actually not the knees falling to the floor. If the feet are really active, the knees are actually going to lift up slightly. That'll help you because you'll come more forward on your sit bones when that happens. So keep the legs very active. Take your left hand to the outer right leg. Take your washcloth or paper plate or whatever you have behind you. So start in fingertip top position with your right hand and lift really tall. So you're forward on your sit bones. Now slide the hand back. So you're just kind of reaching back in this twist. Now, some of us have to be really careful in twisting actions. So you have to keep the legs very active as you're drawing the hand way back to see how far you might be able to go. And the challenging part is to, with ease, without the backhand kind of losing its momentum, pull in as slow as you can. Pull the fingertips in toward the pelvis to come up. Good. Now you've got the idea of the pose, and you can find out in your own pose if you can go a little bit further or not. So first, to get this nice sukhasana by pressing the baby toe side of the foot down, pressing your mid shins in toward each other to slightly lift the knees. You come more forward on your sit bones in that way. With the twist, take the hand to the washcloth. With the finger tip top position on the washcloth or paper, just slide it away. Now bend the elbow as you do this. As you draw the hand way back, you're pressing very firmly down. Now pull in as slow as possible. Draw in. And you might notice all the way to the core muscles, you're really working nicely. The side core muscles, the belly area, working that nicely. That was number 2. We'll do 3 times here. So again, legs are active. Knees are slightly lifting. You're on the forward part of the sit bones. You're in the twist. Take the hand way back and slowly draw it way back, way back. And slowly pull in, pull in. With the elbow bent, I find, you get a little bit more control as you do that. And sometimes as the hand comes back really slowly, it wants to wobble back and forth. See if you can just pull it in, nice and clean, pulling in action. All right, let's cross the legs the opposite way. And again, right at the belly of the calf muscle, the inside shin bone is pushing into that area. You can't see your feet because you're crossing your legs just perfectly. Let's twist to the opposite side and notice the difference here. So as your hand, the right hand presses against the left thigh, both the left leg is very active from the pelvis to the kneecap. It's trying to get as much length as it can in the leg there. As your hand is pushing the leg, your palm can be open or not. Press the left fingertips right on the washcloth and draw into the twist. Reach back. Have a slight bend to the elbow. Maybe you can even take your gaze back there. Now, as slow as you can, pull in. Slowly, slowly pull in to lift up. And two more times here. First, the legs, you just always re-engineer here. Get this nice solid foundation through the feet, through the wrap of the legs as you twist and move just a little bit deeper into your twist by taking the hand away from the pelvis. Keep on opening the chest. Now pull in this nice steadiness, but a nice slow action. You can draw out pretty fast, but that pulling in action should be nice and slow. And again, re-engage the legs, just a reminder. Twist to, in the final round, see if you can go quite a bit farther. See if you can challenge yourself to reach out even more. It's almost like you're going toward your side ribs here. And pull in as slowly as possible. Really engage. And come back to center. Good. Now, after all that hip work, let's try the first kind of sequence that we started with. Chances are you'll find that your hips are nice and open, and you'll notice the difference nicely. So as we start in Badakhan Asana, get a nice lift of the heart. Take the hands in a prayer position. Fold the knees in, lift your feet up, spread your feet out, and bow slightly forward. You should notice a nice ease in the actions now as you bend your knees and you lift your feet up to balance yourself. Come to Badakhan Asana again. Draw your heart forward. Inhale, lift up, draw your knees in, balance yourself, and stretch your legs out. Draw your heart forward. Inhale, make your way through Navasana to Badakhan Asana. Balance first. Take your feet down, bow forward. And last round, where the knees come in, you balance, you reach your legs out, and bow forward. And inhale, lift yourself up, come to lie down on your back. And as you lie down on your back, bend your knees and plant your feet. And just pause there for a moment with your knees bent. Have your feet as wide apart as your mat is. Draw your knees over to your right. Reach your left arm over your head. And just get a nice length there. You can park your right ankle to the outer left knee if that works for your knees. Park your right foot back to the mat and take your left arm down and just pause here. Now draw your knees to the opposite direction. As your knees go over to the left, take your right arm over your head. Notice how free the hip and the side body feels in this pose. Again, you can lift your left foot to the outer right knee if you wish. Enjoy fullness in the breath. Now release your right arm down, lift your knees up, and pull your knees in toward each other. Take your hands right at your kneecaps. Have your legs active and spread your toes and reach your feet back away from your heart as you press very firmly the palms of your hands on your kneecap as if your hands are trying to shorten your thigh bone. You're just trying to press your thigh bone back. But at the same time, the, the thigh bone is trying to lengthen itself from the pelvis to the knee. So it's a very strong action you have to support the lumbar curve first before releasing your feet down and allowing yourself to just settle into Shavasana. And if there is another pose that's kind of calling to you before your Shavasana, of course, you can settle in after that pose. Sometimes taking the form of poses, we forget the action of the fullness of the in-breath and the out-breath. But this time of stillness allows us to attune to the rhythm of the breath, to soften the outer body. to assimilate the actions of the practice. The strengthening of the side core muscles, the shoulder work, the balance. Make your breath that gateway to your own inner awareness. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. Enjoy the ease of Shavasana as you assimilate the actions of your practice. Namaste.